Howdy, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Texish, the show about some things Texas.
And some things rolled up sleeves.
As always, we are coming to you live from Pouch 6 Studios here in Austin, Texas. Got a great episode in store for you. A couple of life updates from Texish Seth and Texish Gunnar.
Tito's and Shiner, gonna be an all-nighter, and I just might find her at the Whataburger line. Dance halls and women, but man, I'm wishing that I was fishing by the river tonight in Texas.
But before we get to those, as always, your favorite segment and ours, our not sponsors.
Not sponsors. They give us zero money.
Literally still no money from any of our not sponsors. I don't get why that is.
I don't either. We do such a good job.
I know, right? Such good ad reads. Our first not sponsor for today's episode of Texish is Tacova Boots. Tacova Boots. Do you live in the city but just want to look like you're from Guthrie, Texas? Tacova Boots. Are you going dancing or going to your crypto job even though crypto is failing? Tacova Boots. Are you dancing at the White Horse or do you even know what the White Horse is? Tacova Boots. It's like if gentrification was a shoe. Tacova Boots.
It's for people who like to tuck their jeans in.
Tacova Boots. Never have I felt more manly than when I'm zipping up my boots to go to work at a coffee shop. Tacova Boots.
They make more than boots. They make leather shoes, leather slip-ons,
leather purses,
leather belts.
Tacova Boots. Taylor Sheridan's favorite boot.
Tacova Boots. You really want your bedroom to smell like
Tacova Boots. I actually do like the smell of their boots.
So literally my favorite candle is made by this company called Texas Candles, and it is a leather scented candle.
Shouts out Texas Candles. I love leather boots.
Yeah.
Anyway, who's our other not sponsor for today's episode?
Our other not sponsor is none other than Topo Chico.
Topo Chico.
It's like tickly water.
Topo Chico.
If you're outside and you need a little tequila, little ranch water,
Topo Chico. Every white girl's favorite drink. Topo Chico.
And mine.
Topo Chico. Can't drug this water. Topo Chico. Is it minerals or is it just a little finger tickling your tongue? Topo Chico.
For the thirsty hipster.
Topo Chico. I also love how there's a stark difference between the plastic bottles and the glass bottles. I love how they've managed to do that because now I just buy the glass bottles.
You have to buy the glass bottles.
Topo Chico. I love that non-sponsor. Shouts out Topo Chico.
Shouts out Topo Chico.
Yeah, wasn't there a time where you could only buy Topo Chico in Texas?
For a little bit, because
Like
it was a Mexican company.
Yeah.
That imported here.
Latinx company.
Latinx, sorry.
Yeah.
And
Come on, man.
recently Coca-Cola bought Topo Chico.
Sellouts.
So you can find it everywhere.
Find it anywhere.
But it really was the sparkling water of Texas. And I like the minerality. I like that it is aggressively bubbly.
Yep. Love it.
Topo Chico, you open a Topo Chico and it punches you in the face.
It really does. And man, nothing beats like the regular Topo Chico and get an actual lime, 2 slivers, squeeze it in.
Oh, yeah.
So yummy.
And when you pull it from the fridge and it's a fridge that's cold enough to create just a little bit of that ice when you crack it.
Oh
my
so
God.
nice. I miss summer now.
Better than sex.
Topo Chico. That's the ad. All right. You want to hear about what happened one time in Texas history?
Once upon a time.
Once upon a time. So we actually have a twofer.
We got a twofer?
We got a twofer.
Oh, heck yeah.
Because this has happened twice in Texas history on the same day in 1971
Go on.
and 1991 in the Driskill Hotel.
Ooh.
A bride
Throwback.
killed herself
Ooh.
in room 525. So in 1971, it is rumored, so not confirmed, but rumored that a lady from Fort Worth was supposed to
Sure.
be wed.
Sure.
Found out that her husband had been trifling. Well, her future husband had been trifling, sleeping around, running around.
Okay.
So she came down to Austin, got a room at the Driskill Hotel, room 525, went and bought a bunch of stuff on his credit, like on his card. Just like rang up this huge bill.
Why not?
Went back to room 525, killed herself.
Wow.
1971. 1991. On her honeymoon. Another bride.
Ooh.
Haven't been able to figure out why she did it. In room 525, on the same day that the first bride killed herself. So,
Is there any connection at all between the people?
like the actual,
Yeah, like
again, I read a bunch
Okay.
into it. Austin Monthly did a piece. There's a couple of pieces on it. The Driskill Hotel itself has a couple of haunting things.
yes.
But 525 is like the specific
525 is the room.
Room 525 is the room because two brides have the legit thing is two brides have killed themselves in that room.
Yeah.
20 years apart on the same day. I can't find any relation between the women. Like there's no, like you can't even find out if like the girl who killed herself in 1991 was like obsessed with the 1971 murder.
Whether or not
and shouts out to my friend Shane. He's the one who like told me all these stories and I was like, I've got to talk about this on the podcast.
This,
so yeah, room 525, super haunted. They didn't let anyone stay. Super haunted. I mean, they get two girls in a room alone.
Yeah.
For years.
I also wouldn't let anybody stay there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they didn't let anyone stay in there until 1998 or 99. Like no one could even get
relatively
that room.
Recently. Yeah,
and I'm pretty sure it's a room that if you don't know what happened in there, they try not to tell you because I'm sure anyone that goes there and you know you're visiting from LA. You got your Tacoma boots on. You're drinking a Topo Chico on South Congress with all your white friends. You got your bouncy ball in your pocket. Yeah, you're talking about how you might move here, staying at the Driskill Hotel. You're talking to locals. Yeah, I'm in room 525 at the Driskill Hotel, and people are like, "Wait, you should get out of there immediately."
See if you can move rooms.
Super haunted. So
not even a little haunted.
Like very.
That's
haunted.
legitimately super haunted.
Again, back to the ghost conversation.
Yeah.
If ever you were like, do you believe in ghosts? I would say if anything is haunted, it's probably room 525 at the Driskill Hotel.
Ghosts are interesting, man. You know,
like to talk to or just as
the concept to talk.
The concept,
whatever. Because like Ron White talks about a ghost that haunted his house.
What
that he talked to, and he was like, he said, yeah, and I'm not going to bother you. I'm not going to do anything.
Yeah,
you got to leave my son alone or whatever it was.
What the heck?
Yeah, apparently he just was. Worried.
Is he a reliable source though?
Yeah, 100%.
Like the guy who used to famously be drunk every day, talk to a ghost?
Yeah, why not?
All right, cool.
I'll believe it.
All right, fine.
All I'm saying is, and the interesting thing about ghosts to me, insofar as like buildings and whatnot, is you actually have to disclose if a building is haunted if you want to sell it.
I do know that. Yeah, like legally you have to disclose,
say,
like,
which means legally,
ghosts are
the
real.
law believes in ghosts.
What rights do ghosts have?
That's a great question.
Where's that picket
Clearly,
sign?
they don't have squatters' rights.
Which is wild. Because the people who do have squatters' rights are way grosser. Like ghosts
are
crap
relatively
on the floor.
benign.
Yeah,
you're gonna lose a bride once in a while.
Yeah, that's fine.
And you know what? There is a good chance the first one just died of like excess hairspray inhalation.
Potentially.
It was a Dallas chick in the 70s.
If not for the blood, I think they'd be able to make that conclusive.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Honestly, okay, what would you do? Like you own a hotel, one of the rooms ends up being haunted. I would change the room number. And
like on the door, you would just flip it?
You know they do that, right? Like they skip the 13th floor.
Yeah.
Like
there is no 13th floor.
It goes 12, 14 in a lot of hotels. They'll just skip that floor for superstitious reasons. And or that's a maintenance floor sometimes. Yeah. But like it often is just not listed.
Yeah.
There's that famous Mitch Hedberg joke. You know what floor you're on. If you jump out of the window, you will die earlier.
Yeah.
So I think the move is change the room number and or make it like a broom closet.
Gotcha. You know? See, I'm the opposite. I would open a TikTok account.
Yeah.
The Haunting in Room 525.
Yeah.
I'd broadcast from there every single day, make it blow up, and then I would sell it at a premium. Like if you want to stay here, you're going to be locked in for 24 hours. You're signing a waiver that says nothing that happens to you when there is our fault because you consented.
Yeah.
And you have to video the entire thing. So I would just make it into a complete content house. Like, because there's a lane. There's people who are like, I want to stay in room 525. I would make it like Austin's #1 hotel room, sell it at a premium, make sure people come stay there. None of what happens in there is my fault. You chose to stay there and get the content out of it.
Yeah.
I'm just a capitalist at the end of the day.
Have you heard about this guy who's he's on TikTok and he is debunking sort of, he's teasing the witches of TikTok and he's like, hey, every single witch out there, put a curse on me. Make it happen.
Yeah.
Prove it.
I like that.
And nothing has happened to him.
Cool. That still scares me.
I know it does.
That's why I brought it up. Even the word witch just makes
Yeah.
like shrink back. Did you see that? I was like, I
did.
But what if it works? Like, I don't know.
Anyway.
I
just like appreciate that.
I appreciate it, but I'm also like, dude, stop doing that. Like, don't invite it. Nothing will happen.
So who's our badass?
Oh, well, Badass is yours.
yeah,
Small
that's
Town's
me.
mine.
I actually know who it is. Too.
You know who it is.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
cool. Our small town of the week is Guthrie, Texas.
Oh, Guthrie. We talked about Guthrie last
The
time.
county seat of King County, Texas.
Yes, it
also
is.
the home to nothing but, literally nothing but the headquarters of the Four Sixes Ranch.
Yes.
That's all it is. It's an unincorporated community founded in like 1888, serves no purpose other than being the headquarters of the Four Sixes Ranch.
I love that. Serves no purpose.
It's like you drive through it, there's a
fair.
building that's like the Four Sixes Ranch. I don't know. Nothing else.
Yeah.
Literally nothing else. Guthrie, Texas.
Guthrie, Texas.
Small town of the week.
Small town of the week. That's interesting that you choose Guthrie. Do you know why?
Because you chose Guthrie Henderson?
I did not. But
I don't know if Guthrie Henderson's a real person.
he's not.
Okay.
Our Texas badass of the week is none other than Buster Welch.
Buster Welch.
Faye Owen Buster Welch was born May 23rd, 1928.
Very old when he died.
Died June 12th, 2022, recently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wild.
He was an American cutting horse trainer and inductee into the NCHA Members Hall of Fame, American Quarter Horse Hall of Fame, National Cutting Horse Association Riders Hall of Fame, and Texas Cowboy Hall of Fame.
Freaking legend.
Buster was chosen as the recipient of the 2012 National Golden Spur Award for his outstanding contributions to the ranching and livestock industry. So Faye Owen Welch was born in Sterling City, Texas.
No, he was born in Sterling
He was born in
City?
Sterling City
Right. Well, he's not related to us, but he's related to Dad.
by marriage.
By
I think.
marriage.
Because we've met Amy, who is his granddaughter.
Granddaughter or
I
something.
think.
Something like that.
So our dad rides cut horses. And one of the interesting things he found out in this endeavor is that he is related to by someone marrying somebody.
He's like
a third cousin essentially, or something like that.
A Buster Welch.
A Buster Welch, one
Crazy.
of the greatest, most
probably considered the greatest
cut horse
trainer ever.
breeding program of all time. Yeah. So this is just some some accomplishments that Buster Welch made, apart from being just an incredibly interesting, storied man.
Yeah.
He won the NCHA World Championship 4 times and the NCHA World Championship for Futurity 5 times.
That's really hard to do.
It's really hard to do. He also was in his 90s when he died. So he had time, but it's also very, very,
Very hard to do
Most people don't do it once in their lifetime, much less a total
4
of
times
9 times
and- 9
across
times.
different events. The most notable horses he trained include Marion's Girl, Chickashaw Mike, Money's Glow, who he trained in 1962, won the first NCHA World Championship for Futurity.
Nice.
In 1963, he won it on Chickasaw Glow. In 1966, on Ray J's Pete. In 1971, on Dry Dock. And in 1977, on Pepe's San Badger. Side note, horse names are crazy.
Horse names are awesome.
Horse names are like, hey, let's name this White Plant Orange Light Gunnerson.
And then they'd be like,
Okay.
put it on the birth certificate. They're
Like,
the best.
Are you naming an animal, or are you just
When I
looking
think
at
people think
objects
that
in the
like
room?
the cool names only apply to racehorses,
And
but
they
it's
don't.
like
It's every single horse. It has, like, 5
has a
names.
fascinating name.
It's
crazy.
and there is a reason for
Yeah.
it, which I also find slightly interesting.
Well, now you have to tell us.
Because they name these horses specifically to track lineages.
Yeah.
So that just like an example, Pepe San Badger, right? If that's the horse's full name, its sire might have been like Pepe Lion, or something. They're
making sure you can associate each horse
Magistrate
with its lineage.
Badger, Cardinal, or whatever. Crazy names, and then they'll call the horse, Gray or whatever. They'll be like, oh, that's old Gray.
Yeah.
And it's just crazy like that. Anyway, so Buster was born in the 20s, which is insane.
Yep.
That's he was born at the tail end of the 20s, so leading into
The Depression.
some pretty crazy.
Yeah. Dust Bowl, Depression, World War.
Buster probably remembers setting a table upside down so that when it was time to eat, you could turn it right side up and
so there
not
was
have
no
dust
on it.
which is crazy.
He also probably remembers not setting a table because there was no food.
I'm sure he
Probably.
does.
I mean, honestly.
By 13, he left home permanently.
Nice.
To land a job breaking horses.
Nice.
He worked super large, really large herds of cattle, got really good at it. He did chores for cattlemen Foy and Leonard Proctor in Midland, Texas. There's a little Midland connection.
432, shouts out.
After leaving Proctor's, Buster worked for many ranches. 666 Ranch, or 46's Ranch.
Not 666 Ranch. That's in.
This is why I can't do medication and read.
Yeah.
The 46's
Stop taking
Ranch,
your meds before we record.
I'll stop. Pitchfork Ranch, King Ranch, Long X, and a few others where he developed the skills to work as well as breeding programs.
Nice.
He is storied for his breeding program at the King Ranch.
Yep.
And not enough.
That's kind of what
about
shot him to legendary status.
It's so legendary that a person I met in California who rode horses in her youth in rodeo knew who Buster Welch was.
Freaking crazy.
That's insane. You know?
Well, and he lands in Yellowstone, has a little scene when Jimmy is dropped off at the 4-6s by the character played by Taylor Sheridan. And he's sitting by the old guys and they're talking. And he walks away, and that 4-6s cowboy is like, there's two things to fear in Texas: God and Buster Welch. And you just met one of them. Freaking crazy.
Such a great line. And what happened is whenever they had him on set, he's 94.
Yeah. Like in a legitimate power chair because he's so old he can't walk.
He wanted to, apparently, Amy was saying he wanted to do a good job and all that, but he was like, I don't know what to say. And Taylor just said, just start telling stories.
Yeah, and he was legitimately just telling stories.
So they got to choose which story they wanted to use.
Yeah.
Buster Welch, man, Texas legend, cowboy, started his own herd, his own ranch, the B Lazy W brand to supply demand for naturally fed cows.
Yep.
One of the first cowboys to do it.
Yep.
Just a son of a gun. Just a cool guy.
In the best way possible.
In the best way. So Buster Welch, we salute you.
We salute you. Shouts out.
Shouts out to Buster Welch.
Speaking of salute,
I can't help but notice Bert Kreischer's in the house.
Hey! Bert Kreischer in the building.
It's the machine.
Look, the casting call said...
Let's get into it. You got to be an extra.
I was a background.
Yeah.
Not even like the specifics
you were background.
Background, not extra.
You were background for a show that shoots in Texas. Walker,
the reboot of the famous
iconic
Chuck Norris TV show,
Walker,
Texas Ranger. Walker, starring Jared Eccles, his brother Jensen Padalecki.
We're gonna have him on the show sometime.
I can't wait. I'm just gonna convince them that I don't know which one's which.
Oh man,
and they're gonna hate it.
Oh, it's gonna.
Shouts out Family Business Beer Co.
There you go.
Anyway, I was yesterday, like recording today. Yesterday, had my first opportunity to be on a TV set. Film set, and it happened because we've been talking about Yellowstone a lot.
We have.
And I've just always thought it would be interesting to be background or be an extra on a show that I like.
Well, we're both entertainers. I was
more so
actor.
than me. You are an actor. You've been
I'm
in
an
LA,
actor.
You've done the LA
I've
thing.
done the LA thing. I plan to continue pursuing it in my own small way.
Yeah.
And we've talked, and I've encouraged you to get on set to see what it's like.
See what it's like.
So
I'm not like I want to be an actor, but I think I just thought it'd be fun to be on set of a show that I'm into.
So tell us.
Well, I made a profile on mycastingfile.com because you can just make a profile. I literally cropped my wedding picture. Like I don't have a headshot. It's just that you have your measurements, you have different things you answer. And there's all these open extra background calls for different things. I went there specifically because Taylor Sheridan's agency pulls background from this site. So I thought, okay, I'm going to up my chances by just being on the site that they pull from. But also Walker pulls its background people from this. And it goes both ways. You can find open calls and throw your hat in the ring, or people find you and just reach out. And I get a text from Stephanie at Legacy Casting. Legacy Casting, Stephanie, y'all were amazing, truly awesome to work with. Everybody there shouts out. If you are in Texas and want to do background work, look into Legacy Casting. They're super nice. They'll set you up for success. They were great.
Yeah.
I get a text that says, Gunnar, we saw your profile. We would like to have you as background for the show Walker.
Yeah.
And I click on the link to the actual call. And it says, looking for, in all caps, very fit and muscular men to play Marines on Walker. And I haven't let it go to my head at all.
Gunnar walked into the studio, shirt off, lats spread.
Very
Let's do this.
Fit, muscular.
I'm a little sad they made you shave the mustache.
The mustache had to go. I had to get my hair cut.
Did they give you a haircut?
I got to cut myself. I didn't want to show up again, you've told me like background, you've really got to like basically not exist.
Well, yeah, and just a little background for the people. Whenever you're casting background, it is incredibly difficult because you're trying to fill a scene with people who aren't pros to do a thing to make it feel more real.
Yep.
And you never have enough time, and you never have enough people, which means people like who reached out to you, they reached out to you because somebody who was supposed to do that job couldn't anymore.
Probably.
Yeah.
Well, you know, it's seeing.
Yeah.
What is it? See but don't be seen. Like, don't get in the way. I didn't want to show up and they have to cut my hair because I'm staying out of the way. But we'll get to that. I sent a screenshot of the casting call to my wife. And just ever since, I've been like, don't forget who you're married to.
Don't forget who you're married to.
Very
muscular
fit,
Marine.
Muscular. And I'm very humble about it. Like,
let me see your hair. I haven't seen your hair.
Well, they cut the
back part.
Shouts out Jody, Honest Barber. We just cut like the back part off.
Yeah,
just clean cut.
Good.
I'm losing my hair anyway, so it's got to stay short.
Me too.
Yeah. Well, no, you're not. You have beautiful locks.
It's long. That's why you can't tell.
Anyway, so I'm like, this
not sponsored by Hims.
I'm like, this will be interesting. Yeah. Of course, I'm saying yes to this. I have time. It shouldn't take all day. You know, the promise was it shouldn't take all day, and that was the other thing that I'm on the fence about. It's like it could take all day. I'm aware that it could take all day.
I know.
But the promise was 3 to 4 hours. So I thought I'll go, I'll be on set. This will be interesting. And the shot was like a marine flashback. So Jared Padalecki's not even on set. This is like Baby Walker and that whole thing. The call time, 6 a.m.
Sure.
Which is fine. I'm an early guy anyway.
Yeah, you're up at 5 anyway.
That's not a big deal. But I am like, man,
it's early.
They're starting early. This is an early. I go to my costume fitting.
Yeah.
Put on the Marine stuff, and I don't see it, but the name on my coat is Win, Nwguen, like
the way you would spell Win if you were Vietnamese.
Yes, exactly, Vietnamese.
Yeah,
and so I walk out. Clearly not. And I walk out of the costume fitting like, how do I look? And the costume lady is holding 5 other jackets. Like, you look good. You have to change jackets.
Change your jacket though.
And I was like, why? And she goes, look at your name. I was like, yeah, we should probably change that. So I chose Brooks. She had like Brooks, Smith, Johnson, and Win.
Oh, you should have gone with Johnson.
And another Win, but it was WIN.
Okay, fair.
So I chose Brooks. So Marine number 3, Officer Brooks, reporting for duty. Show up at call time at 6. And I'm thinking this is early.
Sure.
But I realize everybody who works on production has been here since 4 a.m. Legitimately.
Yeah.
So I pull up, get checked in. Again, everybody on the production side at Walker was great. I meet my fellow background people.
How did that go?
Okay.
Background actors are insane.
Okay, but that's the thing, right? Is when I showed up for the costume fitting, the legacy agency people were like, well, how long have you been in the industry? And I kind of went, what? Like, people in the industry are doing... I thought it was just other people like me that are like, it'd be fun to be on set for a second. No. Yeah, there's like industry people that are... And I'm like, maybe this is a sign that you shouldn't be in the industry. Maybe. But one guy showed up with long hair, so they had to spend 30 minutes cutting his hair, and you could tell they were not happy about that. But also, he wasn't happy about it.
Yeah.
So in the email said clean shaven.
Yeah.
You know, Marine.
The expectation was set.
Yeah, it was very clear. Show up looking like a Marine, and very fit, muscular. He did not. And he was kind of... So this guy was a little upset about... So that was off-putting for everybody.
And you don't... Because he's going to talk to you about it, because there's nobody else he can talk to.
Exactly.
And meanwhile, you have to be there.
Yeah, and listen. Yeah. I'm also the youngest one there, which I'm not young.
Interesting.
Yeah. So, well, I think they needed like mature-looking people.
Sure.
Because like Walker's supposed to be young, so I think they needed everyone else to look older.
Okay.
But anyway, so I show up 6 a.m., get changed, and we're hanging out, and I meet my buddy Ron. Shouts out Ron, We the Fam on Instagram. Started running about a year ago. He's been a flight attendant for 16 years.
Of course you go to Walker to work background and end up making a running friend.
Dude, he was so nice. Yeah. Started running. It's like changed his life. He met God while running, so we got to talk about like running is a very spiritual, prayerful experience. He's now running 24 marathons in 24 months.
Good for him.
So he's on, I believe he just did New York as number 11 or number 12.
He's almost halfway.
Yeah, and he does a 3-minute plank every day, does 50 push-ups every day, does a handstand. Like,
Cool. He's got like some stuff that
hey, this is such a nice guy, and like he's trying to. He was like me, trying to figure out if he likes to be on set. That's why he's been doing background work. But shouts out Ron, nicest guy. Yeah. We're talking a little bit. They put makeup on me. I have makeup on. And we're all just kind of hanging out in this office area. Yeah. And I guess one of the PAs or like assistant production assistants walks in, come with me. Just, come on. And we walk around into this warehouse. Insane what they've done with this warehouse. It's a sound stage, I guess. But it's all these mini sets are in this warehouse. And so we like walk around and they've built this like infirmary scene with like 5 hospital beds. That's obviously in Iraq. The flashback is to 2004 Iraq, because I guess Walker was a Marine in Iraq at that time. And they go stand here, and we're just standing, watching everybody walk around and do stuff. And it was insane to see how many people are involved.
So many people
to get this shot for. It's not, they're not knocking against Walker. This isn't Yellowstone.
Right.
This isn't like one of America's top TV shows.
Right. But it's on the CW. This is a network show.
Yeah, it's a network show. And it was just insane to see how many people are working on this one shot.
And that shot's probably going to be what, 2 minutes?
Not even. Like this shot is 30 seconds. And they had to flip it. So they did one shot. They grabbed Ron to pull back a curtain. Like he gets to pull the curtain.
Yeah.
And so they're going to do this first shot. They don't need the rest of us for this one shot. So they go to the chairs over there. And in the back of this warehouse, there's like these folding chairs. And it's very clearly like peasants.
Background
over there. And the guy with the long hair was saying like, yeah, this is like typical for, and in my head, I'm like, you've done this multiple times and you're an actor. Okay. Cool. Another guy was really cool. He like drove from Fort Worth, first time, been in the Army for 10 years. Nice. Super nice guy.
Yeah.
It was one of those like, there's clearly one person among us who is not cool.
Sure.
And we all know who it is.
We all know who it is.
Anyway, but we're just sitting in the chairs, hanging out, and then, you hear quiet. Everyone shuts up and just hang out for a little bit. So about an hour of setup for a 30-second shot. And then you hear flip. And so they come get us again. And they're like, you and you are going to be hurt on this infirmary bed. You and you are like doctors, yada, yada. We're getting dirtied up. And the makeup ladies are kind of doing my hair. Super nice ladies. One of them was from Odessa. And they see my tattoo and they're like, oh, that's so sweet. And I was like, yeah, it's my wife's handwriting. We wrote I love you for the first time like 7 years ago. I've had the note. And so all these makeup ladies are like, that is that's so cute, adorable. That's awesome. Having this fun time. And then the Marine consultant on set goes, Marines wouldn't have a wrist tattoo in 2004.
Which is true.
Fair call.
Yeah.
So the prop master goes, here's a bloody gauze. Your wrist is hurt. And so my whole job was just to like hold this bloody gauze over my wrist and just act hurt, I guess. And this whole time, I'm still kind of forgetting that I'm acting.
Right.
Because it's background. I'm like, I'm just in the background. I'm not acting. We go on the set. The shot is this main guy that's next to me. Like the dialogue is right here.
Right. So you're just laying in the bed next to him.
I'm laying in the bed next to him. And they're like, we need to put an IV in you. And I'm like, this will be a fake needle. Prop guy comes up with a real freaking IV. And I'm like, no. I literally go, no. And he goes, no, I'm just going to tape it.
Yeah.
I thought they were about to stick
You thought they were about to stick you.
And, I'm equal parts blown away by the attention to detail. But then they put this IV thing in me. And the tube just goes on the ground. So I have to go, hey, shouldn't there be a bag hanging up?
Yeah.
Because
you're asking legitimately, and it's a good question.
A good question. He goes, oh, yeah. Just grabs a bag out of nowhere, hangs it up. Another hour and a half of setup.
Yeah. And I know what's happening, so I'm not adding much. But
yeah.
Like, you're watching.
My mind is being blown.
Right.
This whole
so
time.
you're watching lighting people, gaffers.
Gaffers. I'm watching the prop masters.
You're watching the DP communicate with the director.
I'm watching the script supervisor go over the script with the dialogue people. All this stuff is
you're watching an actor who's like there to act.
Clearly, actors don't do much. They act, but it became very clear for anyone who doesn't know the easiest job on set in some ways is the acting.
It's really easy right until it is.
And it definitely made it clear, like, the hard part for the actor is you better nail your freaking lines.
Yeah, because you do not have...
You don't have a lot of time.
Especially on network TV. What'd they give him? 2 takes?
3. It was 3 takes. 3 takes. And it wasn't until... So 3 cameras for this one shot.
Well, so they're getting coverage.
Coverage. Hour and a half of setup. And then they say, rolling. And I'm like, wait, I have to act hurt, I guess.
Did you make noise?
No, I didn't make noise.
Okay, good.
Yeah, don't make noise. Don't.
Yeah.
Some other guys did.
Oh, thank God.
After the first shot, I didn't make noise.
I was so worried you were
2 other background guys made noise.
Yeah.
After the first shot, director immediately goes, stop making noise.
Yeah.
Like he comes over and is like, you guys have to be quiet.
0 noise.
Pantomime. They were like, you got to pantomime. So I'm laying back and they're like, action. I'm like,
making faces.
I'm not that extreme, but I was like, how do I look shocked? And
how do I?
So I just kind of thought of Leadville. I was like, maybe I'm.
You gave yourself PTSD,
and I was like wincing, like,
Did he give you any notes?
No notes at all. If anything, I was the only one who got no notes because like the guy. The doctor attending the other background guy, his hands were too big for his gloves. So the second shot, he was messing with the gloves for like 20 seconds.
And they were like,
and they had to say like, dude, just don't mess with the gloves.
Yeah.
So I was it. If the shot makes it to episode 11 of Walker airing in like January, what's fun is like, there's a clear I'm line. Right next to the guy talking.
What I want to see is because I don't know how they shoot the show necessarily.
Yeah.
I want to see what shots you're in and if you're in focus.
I'm definitely not in focus because
we don't know.
Because the scene is this guy in the bed talking to another guy, so the focus is here.
Yeah.
Like there's no way.
But it depends on the lens.
I don't think I'm in focus.
Okay, all right. We'll see.
I shouldn't be. But yeah. See. So like I'm like.
So for this like 2-minute scene for the audience,
30 seconds.
30-second scene. How long were you there
on set?
On set,
I was there for 4.5 hours.
Okay,
and I was only in this one. And remember, they filmed one scene.
Yeah,
and I'm not even done yet.
Okay.
Film the scene, flip. I'm in that part. Then they're 3 takes. We're done. One guy had a everybody wants some baseball hat on,
nice.
And I was like, "Hey, is that everyone wants some?" Hey. He's like, "Yeah." Everyone smells like cigarettes, by the way.
Yeah,
well, it's like coffee breath and cigarettes because you can tell it's like this is nonstop work.
Yeah,
for very little pay.
Because this was Wednesday, right?
Yeah, it's Wednesday.
Yeah. So they work 4 a.m. to midnight.
Yeah. Well, and I got the email for call time at like 8 p.m. the day before because they don't know when they're going to start because they haven't wrapped the day shooting
and
yet.
They can't tell you when they're going to start until they wrap because that affects when they can start.
Exactly. So yeah, we do that scene and there were 5 of us background guys there at 6.
Yeah.
There was another Marine scene that they were shooting same day that they needed more people for. Mm-hmm. So we walk out to our peasant area and there's like 20 guys there now, all dressed as Marines, and they're for this other shot. But the guy comes up and he's like, I don't know if we can use you guys because you were just in this like infirmary scene. Mm-hmm. So stay here, but you're probably going to wrap soon, but we're going to use all these guys. So they go set up this other scene. And I kind of had the wherewithal to think like, they're going to forget we're here. 100%. Because there's just too much going on.
Yeah.
And again, it was crazy to see like, there are 120 people working on the scene they're shooting and working on the next scene. Just doing all this stuff, all while we're just trying to get a 2-minute shot. Mm-hmm. Crazy. But I kind of stand where like I can see the other scene being shot, and me and Ron are like talking, hanging out. And dude, 2 hours go by before they even start shooting this scene. And they get the shot, and finally they come over and they're like, "You guys are free to go. You can leave." And so like walk off set. But yeah, I was on set until from 6 for 5 hours basically.
And that is efficient.
That's what's wild.
Actually what's wild.
It was funny. There was another guy. There was the guy with the long hair that kind of complained a lot. There was another guy that showed up late for our 6 a.m. call time and was like complaining about how like they didn't have any, like he couldn't get coffee and all this stuff. And in my head, I'm like, this must be his first time too. Like he was just very like,
I don't know, man. People who complain like that, he's been doing that a while.
We're changing. He's like, man, they've been doing this all the time. Like they call us in and they like. use us once and like let us go. I've been this. Apparently, he's been an extra on Walker like 4 times,
There are people who are professional extras.
which is fine, I guess.
Yeah.
But he was like complaining about how they keep letting them go early because then you're not in as many shots.
Yeah.
It was just very clear that like me and Ron and this other guy were having fun and other guys were not.
Yeah.
But I am now Marine number 3, Officer Brooks on CW Walker season 3 episode 11.
There you go.
Her arm. So
Look out
check
for
it
him.
out. Again, I'm not letting it go to my head at all. I'm very humble about my success in the industry.
We do call you Hollywood now.
Please don't.
It's your new nickname.
Please don't.
I'm going to call you Hollywood. I'm going to change your name in my phone to Hollywood.
And I'll say it on the camera again. Legacy casting, Stephanie, y'all were amazing. The entire production team at Walker, y'all are doing great work. I had a good experience. Like I had what you would think a good background experience was.
It sounds like you did, yeah.
Yeah, it was. I'm observing it so I can talk shit on my podcast.
And selfishly, like, I'm so happy you got to experience something that I can now share with you.
For sure, I never want to do it again.
I was going to ask.
I will never do that again.
yeah.
That was
I figured.
No, not at all. Like I would love to audition for some things and have a chance to be the guy who like says some stuff and then walks off the scene and reaches out his hand and like someone hands him a phone. I saw that happen.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even a
cool, right?
star. It was just another actor.
That's just
that
the dude, yeah.
He was walking off and this isn't your phone.
Yeah.
Crazy. Anyway, so that's my update. You had a fun conversation with Mom.
Oh my God.
It's kind of a back update, but
you know what? Let's dive right in, shall
Yeah.
we? As you guys know, I hurt my back. I'm on the mend. Things are getting better. I got a shot in it, which has helped a little bit with the pain.
Yeah.
Still a little shaky. Still figuring out meds dosages and what I can and can't do. And in the realm of things I can't do are important, vital actions that are a result from a date that has gone well.
yes. Seth can't have sex.
Yeah. It's a bummer.
Yeah. You can't meet your needs.
I can't meet my own needs.
Or someone else's.
I don't know about that.
Well, you probably could. But
I mean, who knows?
Yeah.
It would hurt a lot.
it's a you haven't tried yet.
All I'm saying is this is going to be
You
complicated.
can tell it's going to be a complicated
I
process.
can tell it's
when the
going to
time
be
comes.
complicated.
Yeah.
It's going to require some learning.
Yeah.
A lot of communication, you know?
Little movement.
But, you know, we have a good relationship with our parents.
Great relationship.
We like to talk to them about once a week.
Yeah.
You know, Mom will call us. I like to answer.
Yeah.
I'll even call her occasionally.
Yeah, exactly.
I love them very dearly. And I try to be honest with our parents when they ask us questions. So whenever we're talking,
We either tell our parents the truth or don't tell them.
or nothing at all.
Yeah. We don't lie to them.
I've told Mom so many times, don't ask me a question you don't want the answer to.
Yep.
Because I will give it to you.
Yep.
So we're talking, and you know, my dating life comes up because I think at this point I'm the most single Rogers, probably.
Yeah. Our intern might have something going on.
Maybe. Who knows? But I'm incredibly single, and that's okay.
Yeah.
But I am now dating again.
Throwing yourself out there.
Trying to.
Yeah. Have some fun.
So Mom asked, "Hey, yeah, I heard you got a date scheduled. Are you excited? What are you guys gonna do?" And I was like, "Oh, we're going skydiving, obviously." And
We're going to go jump on a trampoline.
I feel like it is important to have conversations with your mom about a lot of things, like how to be a good man in a relationship.
Trying
for
to
one.
be a good man.
Try to be
Yeah.
a good man. What it means to show up. You know, what we can do as men to take care of women.
Yeah.
And support them and lift them up. Right.
Yeah.
And because we have comfort with our mom, I felt comfortable whenever she was asking questions about dating, mentioning that, you know what, Mom, I'm really excited about this date, but I'm worried because, and here's where I had to be careful,
Yeah.
because I don't actually.
You can't be like, Mom, I can't sling it like I used to.
So what I say is, well, Mom, I'm super excited about this date. I think the girl's really cool. I'm really worried that I'm not going to be able. I don't know how to put this. I don't know if I'm going to be able to dance. And she takes a second.
Yeah.
And
you don't know where she's going.
And I don't know where she's going to
Because
go.
sometimes she'll be like, and we're done.
And we're done, which she has done, and I respect that.
Yeah.
God bless her. She picks it right up and goes, well, can you at least two-step?
Which what does that mean?
Well, that's what I said. I was like, Mom, what does that mean?
What in her head?
Actually, you know what I said? I said, listen, that's funny. To be honest, I don't know if I could even do the little prom dance at the end of a coming of age movie where you're just kind of like swaying side by side.
Yeah.
I think I'm pretty limited. I think she may have to grab a wheelchair and push me around a little bit.
A little bit.
I think that's kind of where we
Might have to try the Abbott position.
My God.
It's never going to stop. It's just too easy.
Oh my goodness, that was fantastic.
Thank you.
That was good. I liked that. Oh man. Oh, I mean, hey, whatever works.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I got to have about a 15-minute conversation.
Yeah.
with
Well,
Mom.
what did she say about, like, she was like, maybe women like to lead.
She was very kind. She tried to lift my spirits a little bit. She goes, son, it's okay. Not every man is the best dancer. Sometimes, son, a woman likes to lead. And that's where I had to stop the conversation.
You were like, hey, we're done.
I was like, and we're done.
Done. All right.
The rare moment when Mom bests me at my own game.
She'll do that.
She'll
like,
do that
if she
occasionally.
wades into the water, she will go all the way to the deep end, and it's freaking wild.
If Mom throws down, nobody can hold a candle.
Nope. If she throws
It's
down.
getting her to throw down.
Yes, that's
But
the issue.
I had a great conversation about sex with my mother using only dance parlance.
terms.
Only
Nice.
dance terms.
Cool.
Yeah, it was great.
Well, we will keep everybody updated on Seth's ability to dance. At Texish Seth, if you're interested in the moves that he might have.
Oh, God.
Or if you're a lady who likes to lead, Texish Seth on Instagram. Also, Texish Pod on Instagram, Texish Pod on YouTube. Make sure to give us a follow. We're going to keep you updated on everything going on in our lives.
Keep a lookout for Love is Blind, Texas edition.
Texish edition. Texish edition.
Oh my gosh,
Oh
we
my
really
gosh.
shot ourselves in the foot there.
Yeah, a little bit.
Keep an eye out for the dating show based on my dating life. Maybe we should do a little segment like
The
little-
Texas
little
two-step.
listener.
Texas two
submissions.
steps. Anyway, give us the follow. Make sure you subscribe. We got great clips coming out thanks
Oh my
to
gosh.
Pouch 6 Studios.
Huge shout outs, Pouch 6.
Shouts out Jake. Shouts out Alec at Creators Collective
Ingram as well.
Make sure, Ingram, Ryan O'Malley, everybody here at
man.
the studio. Thank you to Creators Collective for making all this possible. Go check them out at creatorscollective.us. We have the ad read earlier in the episode, but just one more shout out. Textures Pod, YouTube, Instagram, follow, subscribe. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Bye, y'all.